Welcome to the Cosmic Check-In with world-renowned psychic and metaphysician Beatrex Quntanna. In this program, Beatrex will divine the deep spiritual messages from the astrological placements of the planets, offering insight and inspiration for the times ahead. Now, here's Beatrex.
Ta-da! Welcome to the Cosmic Check-In. This is September check-in, and I think we're going to talk about the next couple of weeks, because they start out with Jupiter going out of Virgo and entering into Libra. So what that's going to do, it's going to free you up, because remember, Virgo loves details and Jupiter loves broad strokes. So, and you've had to do a lot of negotiation during the Jupiter in Virgo to allow yourself to have a broader view. So now Jupiter's gone into Libra, so everybody's going to become Velcro and become very codependent and very much involved in, does he love me? Does she love me? But actually what it's going to be good about is it will allow people to understand a sense of morality and a sense of diplomacy. People will be speaking more directly from a heart-to-heart concept, and I have a feeling it's going to help advance the global situation. So now it's going to be there for the next year. So you can expect your life to be quite different than it's been. So when it's been in Virgo, Virgos, they're very practical and they don't like to spend a lot of money. Well, now Jupiter's going into Libra. You'll feel more free when you go on a shopping spree. So that'll help you as well. So anyway, now the other thing that's happening actually today is that Saturn is squaring Neptune. So Saturn, remember, loves to be practical and wants boundaries and specifics and systems and everything formulated in a very correct way. And Neptune is all smoke and mirrors. So you may feel like your dreams are being fenced in, or you may, because Neptune rules the other world, the other side, your spirituality, and it's hard to take, the allness of your spirituality and put a fence around it. So there may be a few days where you're going to feel a little restricted, even though Jupiter has moved into Libra. Now we've got this amazing moon coming up. It's one of the more interesting moons for this year, 2016. And first of all, the moon is in Pisces, which is the opposite of the sun, is in Virgo. And it is an eclipse. So whenever we have an eclipse, we go back 19 years, and we'll be going back to 1997, and eclipsing things that I would say you're going to be eclipsing old belief systems and or connection to certain kinds of religion, and or traditions related to religion. So one of the things you have to remember is that the uncalibrated version of Pisces is belief. The recalibrated version of Pisces is I trust. So what you're going to be looking at in what you believed in 1997 and how you've recalibrated that to a sense of trust rather than a need to have an organization or somebody else take over your karma and or your spiritual belief systems. We're now much more, as we move into the Aquarian age, self-reliant, and who we need to trust is ourself. So the trust factor will be coming up and advancing, and you will be deepening yourself to a new formula for that. The one thing that I thought was really interesting about this particular moon is that it's the Sabian symbol for this moon is purging the priesthood. So when you take a look at the fact that the old-fashioned formula for Pisces is your belief and your dogma related to church and religion, you can, as this moon is going to purge the priesthood, you can look at aspects of your own, where you put that in your own software and how you can purge it, purge your belief system, and recalibrate to the formula for trust. So I think it's going to be a very valuable full moon release and full moon recalibration and eclipse. So all of that takes place on the 16th. I think that's when it's happening. And I feel very strongly the one thing that I want you to watch out for in your own software during this time period is scapegoating. One of the things that when we purge the priesthood, you don't want to scapegoat, you want to really purge yourself. Don't get into a blame or a looking at something that you may consider weaker than yourself and placing it there. Let's let the eclipse just clean it all out and allow yourself now to live on a good basis of trust for yourself. Okay? So the thing that's also interesting about this moon is that there's 4 very huge aspects attached to it. You have Neptune attached to it. You have the South Node attached to it. You have, of course, the moon, and you've got Chiron. Now, Chiron is the healing planet, and it really asks for you at this time when Chiron is in Pisces to really get your wounds out of isolation so that you can actually work on them. So oftentimes we've kept our wounds or our sicknesses a secret, and in so doing there's more pain. So if you allow yourself to bring forth your pain out into the open, you will allow yourself to get out of the isolation concept which keeps you from living your life from your heart. Okay, and then the North Node, or the South Node, of course, is all, well, in the Eastern philosophy they call it the dragon's tail. So you want to look at things from your past that will need to be purged along with the purging of the priesthood. So you've got a lot of interesting theories. So while you look at this toolbox from your past, be willing to allow the eclipse to sweep it away for you so that it's gone and you can be free. You've got several retrogrades going on right now. We have good old Mercury retrograde, but that's going to be gone by the 21st. And then you've got Uranus retrograde, which actually, Uranus retrograde really makes you take a look at what you really want to do for your future and how you want to get there. By being able to express yourself freely. So if you can express yourself freely, you're working really well with Uranus. But the rebellion factor comes in if you don't feel free, so you want to work on that. Then Neptune is also retrograde, and also and it goes out on the 19th. And Pluto actually is retrograde, and it will be gone by the 28th. So we do have some unloading of these retrogrades coming up, which will set your shadow side free to be able to walk forward in the light, rather than having to continue to face what you've swept under the carpet for all of these years. Okay? So I think basically, if you look at celebrating the purging of the priesthood in you, and you look to clean up residue or uncalibrated aspects of your belief systems that you depend on because you don't want to be self-reliant, I think you could end up at the end of September moving into the sign of Libra on the 22nd for the fall equinox, and put yourself in a very good place to live. So with that in mind, namaste.